Billy, and my husband Wayne is taking this video, and hopefully we'll show you how to make soap today. The first thing I did was run my recipe through the lye calculator, and I always do it in ounces, and then the printout is in pounds, ounces, and grams. And I always measure my oils and my lye and water by grams because it's more accurate. Since I've made a few batches, I'm doing a 33% instead of the 38, which lye calculator does. So that hardens things up and less water to evaporate. And the reason I don't show measuring out my oils and my lye is because I kind of master batch. I'll make up 4 to 5 batches at one time in both and store them. And then what I do is I heat my oils just enough to melt them if they've gotten thick, but not hot. Yeah, it's not even really hardly warm. So I'm all set up. I have my oils here and my lye water. And when I make that, I always calculate how much titanium dioxide to put in it. And I always put silk fibers in it. And I add those to my water first and stir real well. And that blends it all in. Then I will take this out to the garage and I'll add my lye into it. So I've always usually got a little bit of titanium dioxide in every batch, which some people don't do. They'll decide if they want to use it later, but I just do that as a default. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is, some people add their fragrance oil at light trace. I go ahead and I put mine in now. And while I'm doing that, I've got to tell you, I have a little bit of water, not much, in each one of these cups. And then I've added my color and mixed them up. And the reason I do that is so the soap won't get real thick on me while I'm working with my main batch here. It'll stay thinner, so I'll be able to pour the colored lines easier. Okay. Now I usually just give this a little blend. And I make sure that's mixed up. And then I'll take my lye water. Most people will bring this to a light trace, but when I'm doing colored swirls, it moves too fast on me. So what I do is I just barely get it emulsified real well, and then I pour out for my colors. Okay, that was my lye water. Now I'm just going to get this emulsified, but not trace. I blend a minute, and then because it bubbles up and I can't really see the texture, I'll stir a minute. And I think I'm going to hit it one Okay, now to me that's emulsified. You can see it's not a trace, but it's mixed up real well. So this is when I pour off for my colors. I have a little bit of 14 karat gold here, and I'm going to color the base pink, but I'm using raspberry pop. And I have just a little bit of titanium dioxide and some water in that one. So I'm going to mix this up real good. And I'm going to add this to my base because I'm going to color the whole base. Now we can, oops, I forgot something. go ahead and mix up these little cups of color. So they'll be ready to go. Let me move that out of the way. So, in case my FO discolors a little bit, is the reason I added a little more titanium dioxide to this, because I'm hoping to keep these swirls a real pretty white. And I'm going to mix up my 14 karat gold. And as you can see, that's still nice and thin, which is what I need so I can work on this. So now I'm going to stick blend this, and it's okay for this to get a little thicker now. As you can see, it's already done now. So I'm just going to mix this up real well. It's already thickened. So I'll have to move fast or it's going to leave grooves when I try to do the swirl. Oh, sorry, I forgot my spatula. So I'm going to pour into the mold. By the way, these are molds my husband makes, and they're put together, they're L-shaped, so they pull apart. After watching me struggle with lining, he has lined the sides with real thin Lexan and just glued them on there. Oh, I'm going to have to move fast. Okay, so just go back and forth. And I'll take my gold. And see, these have stayed pretty thin. Oh, I poured on the mold, because I've added the extra little tiny bit of water to it. And there's no special way of swirling. You can make up pretty much anything you want. Sometimes I just go in diagonals like this. I'll start at this corner and go back and forth. And then I'll go to this corner and go back and forth. And sometimes I'll leave it just like that, or if you're really bored, you can kind of take this in circles to break up the pattern. Sort of just like scribbling. And that's pretty much it. And these are the dividers he also made out of a lot thicker Lexan. We ordered this off of some guy on the eBay, and he gives us real good prices. And I'll take my dividers that he made, and I'll push that down into there. And what that does is all these colors that are on the top will now go down onto the side of your bars. And then I'll just put the lid on, and I will probably gel this. So what I'll do is I'll set this on a blanket and wrap the blanket on top and leave it for 24 hours, and then we'll be back and show you what the soap looks like after it's gelled. Thanks for watching. We're back. I forgot to mention the fragrance oil I was using was Endless Love. It's a Victoria's Secret by Alabaster. And I just wanted to say that I colored this batter, but if you were leaving your batter plain and you wanted your color swirls to go down inside the batter, you would just hold the cup up higher when you poured and save a little bit to put just right on the top. And then use your swirling stick and make sure you're touching the bottom when you swirl. Or you could do an in the pot and save just a tiny bit to put on the top and do the same way. I just wanted to show you how quick and easy this handmade mold comes apart. And there it is. Okay. And that's it. Thanks for watching.